and Lowe's are the places I have to go a lot. So another trip there. Going to the lumber department. Yeah. We need to get work done today on the van, so here we are. Alright, so we made it through Home Depot, y'all. Whew! I think I might have got a piece of wood from my wall that was just almost too big for the van to handle. That's why I got to get these big things now before I finish other stuff. So let me show you how I got it into the van. Now I could have gone smaller. Yes, I could have. But for the price, this was $14 for the entire sheet. But yeah, that's going to be that wall. And probably some other pieces. Yeah, and we'll go from there. This is what I got, if you could see with the sun. I think it'll work just fine. And then on top of that, some self-tapping screws to put it right into whatever those things are called. Again, I'm just a girl doing a van. Look at that Max Air fan back there. Ooh, beautiful. All right, there is a beep coming from here, and I assume it's from that wire that I disattached from the, oh, now the beeping stops. Hey, thanks, y'all. But it's from the airbag that was attached to the seat, and now it beeps when I get in. There was a light on the dash, but now it's gone. So, yeah. We'll see how that goes. I may have to do some disconnecting. Okay, I'm over here at Lowe's. In the insulation, I need some foam board to put behind my wall. And I'm thinking about that one because it's $14. But it's 3/4 inch. Do I want to lose that much wall? Let me think about this one, because they have other options I'm not familiar with. So let's see what we can actually find. So I did find a thinner board. As you can see, kind of. It's loaded here in the van. It takes up a lot of space here. This is how I'm driving home with it. But hey, I'm gonna get all the pieces I need to get that wall done and started today, and get that prepared. I ended up over here at Lowe's because I couldn't find the right size. They only had 1 inch at Home Depot, and I didn't want 1 inch. I don't want to take 1 inch from my walls. That's 2 inches overall, both sides, and the roof too. And in case you didn't know, I'm Traveling Patio. Nice to meet you. And if I've already met you, you remember me because, yeah, I'm just me. I hope you like, subscribe, comment, because this journey is just beginning. I'm building out my 2014 Ford Econoline E150 van. I bought it with nothing done inside. It is down to the bare metal, and I'm not really building it. I'm just putting it together. But I am building some walls, putting some things up, floor, ceiling, walls, you know. I want to make it pretty. I got to live in this thing starting at the end of June. So I hope you're following along, and thanks for joining. Let's get this all done. All right, y'all, so that's what I went through for as far as thickness for that. And then that is the board that will be for my kitchen. Oops, kind of crooked there, but yeah. Now it's time to take that foam board. My attempt is to measure it. We're using tools again today, guys. Measuring tape. I think this saw is gonna cut it, which is awesome. And then a Sharpie to mark it. That's what tools I'm using. It has a self stick, but I think I'm gonna need something else to stick it to the walls. And then my plan is to, of course, cover the wall. I did originally get some self-tapping screws at the store, but in doing further research, I don't want that big of a head sticking out of my wood. So I'm not going to be able to apply the wood siding onto the wall, the wall itself, until I get these other ones. They'll be arriving from Amazon on Tuesday. They'll be black ones with a better head on them, so they're look a little nicer than these. If a razor blade might have been a better way. We're going to check that. But, alright, so this is not a self-sticky. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm used to doing like other things, but I do have some stuff I'm going to get out of my shed that I do have. This is going to fit perfect into that space. And that's what I'm looking for in the end. So, yeah, we just got to get some, I think, glue to glue it up there. However, it does stay in the space, but I'm not sure if I need to glue it or not. Leave that gap. I'm going to research a bit and carry on. But there's number one. So I'm going to tell y'all something that y'all probably figured out already. Cutting with that knife was not the way to cut that. It worked. I mean, it's rugged, but it's going to be covered. It's no big deal. A window is going to go there, I hope. But the best way to cut it is, voila, razor blade. Like, come on, why didn't I think of that? Anyways, thought I would add that to it because I'm learning. It got a little hot outside, so now I'm testing that Max air fan, seeing how it does when it is 90 degrees outside almost here in Arizona. The remote shows it's 87 here in the van. I just now came in and opened the door and turned it on. About 10 minutes prior to coming in. So it is, yeah. But that's the features of the remote. Again, the temporary power supply. Yeah. And I believe I found some 12-volt ends to my power system here. It runs along here. And then there's more. There's a lot of these little connectors. So if y'all know what those are, put that in the comments. But I think that might be 12-volt connectors all along here. So, yeah. This is working great. Cooling off nice in here. I have the option to also blow fan air inward. But I'm going to leave it where it's at, where it's blowing air out. So I can get rid of some of this hot air here and maybe get some more work done today. But if not, I did a little. Glad to have that fan there. Alright, y'all, it's cool enough in here with that Max air fan to be able to be putting these completely in. As you can see, I am taping across the tops, sides, bottom. So the cut really didn't matter. That crazy cut over there will be covered soon. Doing this side right now because this is where the sun is facing. Currently where I'm at parked. So but it is, you know, pretty decent comfortable in here. I brought in a second. So 84 degrees is what it's staying in here. But yeah, getting some work done. Success. Okay, y'all, more progress here on the van. We are now, we've taken all those pieces off here because, as you can see, it's quite dirty. There were these little pieces, such as this, that fit down into these holes and these holes, and I popped them off with this tool that came in this kit. And that is today's word of the day: kit. Save you money buying a kit. Anyways, this has all the sizes I need so far for plugging holes and replacing on here when I go to put back on those pieces. So that is one of the pieces, the gasket, like rubbery piece. This is my wheel well piece. This other piece right there goes to the back of the van to fit right along here. I've taken that off because I need to paint that. I don't want any rust. I'm going to put new things on. This is getting redone too. And then I need to take the paint from the previous person off of here and make that chrome shine again. So that's what we're working on. Yesterday I worked on these insulation. Insulation makes a huge difference in here. Insulation. And as you can see up there, more insulation. This one right here is where my window is going to go. That has an exhaust fan. So today I'm working on these pieces, as well as maybe some insulation started on the roof. But I also want to get some painting done, like you can see up here, really needs done. I know it's going to scratch again, but I would like it to look nice. And then we could start putting all the prettiness together once we get insulated and such. So, yeah, it's coming right along, but it does take time. Okay, so we have got those washed. Beautiful. Those, I gotta clean this area out still, vacuum it. And then now we're going to spray those with that. And the areas over here. I'm not sure if I'll do that today. It's getting really warm out, and because of my seizures and such, I just can't be out in the heat. So I try to get this done in the early mornings and in the evening. And today, this is what we've accomplished for now. Okay, so I let those dry a little bit, the plastic pieces. Ignore this stuff back here. We're only looking at this. But as you can see, I just did a little thin coat of paint on there. And you can see the difference. Like that to that. That right here to that. Much difference. A lot of difference. Love that. It's gonna work. I'm using a Rust-Oleum, nice paint, and I can see that that's gonna make a difference. Right there, looks beautiful. So, I don't know if this is the way you do it, but this is the way Traveling Patio's doing it. And as you see right here on the side of the wall in my yard is currently my wall in the van. So that will be the wall. It's a very thin piece of, I don't even know what they call it, but it looked like it would work. I'm waiting for the screws to arrive tomorrow, and we'll put that up over the insulation that I installed yesterday. But just so you get a little insight of how I'm doing it, there's the passenger seat I took out. It has now been removed. So yeah, it's coming right along. I can't say I removed that totally, the seat. I do have to say that I did have to have help with those bolts. Yeah, but it's out. The airbag beeping keeps happening in the van. However, I think that'll come to a stop, or I'll figure that out, or just deal with it. It only does it for a little bit and goes off. And then here's the steel pieces that I've taken out that I don't know what I'm going to quite do with those yet. If these are sellable on Marketplace or not, or if I just take them to the dump. What did you all do with yours if you built a van? Comment below, let me know, because I'm kind of stuck again. I guess you get stuck quite a bit building a van because there's so many choices. And in my situation, I'm the only one making them. Okay, so as you can see, there's a split right here, right? And that is a high traffic area. I've started taping already in preparation for what I'm going to do, as I think will solve it. We're going to put some epoxy on there. I'm taping the front side, going to put the epoxy on the back first, and then I guess come in the front if needed. Sand that down and then paint over. That's what, yeah, I figured out. And then like right there where we test painted it, it's looking beautiful. So once that's all done, I think this is going to look a lot better. The epoxy appears to have worked wonderful. Let me stay the shadow out so you can kind of see. It did fill that gap. You can see the little of the blue tape there along the edge. I've taken some of that tape off to see how it is on the other side, and I'll just epoxy it on the other side, sand it down, and yeah, make it tough on the other side as well. But I wanted to try the back side because I've never done this before. And yeah, I'm still learning too. But I wanted to teach you guys that may not know. Some of you may know. Maybe there's a better way. But again, this is the patio way, and it's working. Yay! Thumbs up for me. All right, working on a little bit of this insulation. Of course, you know, doing it by myself is a little more strategic than if I had some assistance, but you know, I just used the aluminum tape with my, I don't know what you would call this insulation I used on the wheel wells. But I have this insulation such. I have a couple rolls of that, and I'm just putting it in between the grooves on the ceiling. Get that started, more insulation going. What I've already put in there seems to help tremendously. Of course, with the help of that amazing fan that just keeps running. 12 volt via my solar power for free. Again, let me repeat that. For free. Now, of course, after I bought all this stuff, but you know, it's looking good. Progress. I am, of course, hot out here. It's Tucson, Arizona. In April, it shouldn't be this hot, but we've been having those kind of temperatures, so that's why this is essential now. We're getting this all done. It's looking wonderful.